While the establishment are trying their best to remove Suella Braverman as Home Secretary, she's come to hit back with an extremely robust response on illegal migration. Okay, first things first, as you guys know, I have no faith in Rishi Sunak's government and cabinet, so they're absolutely all over the place. It's a mess. This is not conservatism as we wanted, but this is about Suella Braverman. And again, what I'm about to show you guys, which happened just about, an hour ago in Parliament, it's a very robust speech from a new Home Secretary. So, we clarify before we show this. I'll believe it when I see it, of course. So, that's disclaimer, done. She was very robust. She triggered the shadow from bench. So I'm going to show you that that's absolutely hilarious. You got to watch that. But I hope that she actually gets it done. She seems very serious. She seems more serious than Priti Patel. But we said the same about Priti, obviously. I know we have no faith. I have no faith in Rishi Sunak himself. But if they allow Suella to do her job on her own, maybe, just maybe, we could sort out this massive crisis that's not just about the invasion, it's also about overcrowding. It's gone so bad that the government, even Rishi Sunak, had to send Home Office ministers to Dover today. Right? It's gone so bad that they're like, well, we can't really ignore this anymore. We can't keep distracting the public. So this is about what happened just now in Parliament. Let's go to the House of Commons and see what Suella Braverman just said.
The British people deserve to know which party is serious about stopping the invasion on our southern coast and which party is not.
Invasion. This is the first time a Home Secretary actually used the word invasion. Even Priti Patel wasn't brave enough to say that. So, but the tone and, well, the seriousness of it seems to be obviously striking a chord. But again, we have to wait and see what the plan is.
Some 40,000 people have arrived on the South Coast this year alone. Many of them facilitated by criminal gangs, some of them actual members of criminal gangs.
There we go. Finally, someone's telling the truth. Up to this point, the Home Office never wanted to admit this point, but here we have.
So let's stop pretending that they are all refugees in distress. The whole country knows that that is not true. And it's only the honourable members opposite.
Look at their faces. I'm going to pause every time you see their faces, but they're not happy on the Labour front bench.
Who pretend otherwise. Madam Deputy Speaker, we need to be straight with the public. The system is broken.
Finally, someone mentioned this because it's about the whole of the state. And when you hear a Home Secretary, a politician, actually blaming their own government, that's the right thing to do. Stop making excuses, stop blaming other people, and stop trying to shift the goalposts. Finally, someone said it.
Illegal migration is out of control, and too many people are more interested in playing political parlour games.
Oh, that's the thing. Again, I'm not keeping my hopes high. I'm just basically just going to wait and expect nothing to happen. I'm not going to expect anything basically at this point. Because even if Suella is a good one, even if she really has a good plan, the rest of the government and the rest of the cabinet and the Home Office, there are still obstacles. And how are you going to actually fix that? We don't know. The whole problem is that the whole of the Tory establishment is to be blamed because they don't want to work together. But let's go.
Covering up the truth, then solving the problem. I, Madam Deputy Speaker, am utterly serious about ending the scourge of illegal migration, and I am determined to do whatever it takes to break the criminal gangs and fix our hopelessly lax asylum system.
And that's why, ladies and gentlemen, the Labour establishment, media establishment, and the whole of the Home Office civil service establishment are trying their best to get rid of Suella Braverman. If we say there's only one little hope when it comes to this government, it's people like Suella. But again, she might just be another Priti Patel. She might just let us down. But I feel like she's serious enough. But is she competent enough? That's the main point. The political editor of the channel, Peter Barnes, actually sent out a series of very, very interesting tweets about this whole issue of the witch hunt. Let's go to Peter Barnes. He said, let's be real. Excuse me. Yvette Cooper and the Labour Party and their friends in the mainstream media are only basically attacking Suella because Labour are incredibly vulnerable on the issue of migration and migrant crossing. That's what the main point is. He says, UK Labour Party and Keir Starmer as Labour leader have made incredible strides into the Red Wall. Many thought that Starmer would struggle, mainly helped by Tory incompetence on the economy. Yet, on immigration in this region, Labour are seen as weak, especially on the crossings. All it would take is a regular campaign to equate Labour to the illegal crossings, say a leaflet drop with the phrase, would you trust this woman to stop these boats, with a picture of the boats and Yvette Cooper, and that will do the job. She's already seen as a soft touch Ramona anyway. Peter continues by saying that Suella Braverman speaks the language, especially in the Red Wall, when it comes to immigration. The Labour Party regularly tear themselves apart on this issue, often very brutally and on full display. Look at the Rwanda deportation flight fallout. That's a good example, actually. Not a good look for a government in waiting. And finally, Barnes says that the UK Labour Party's strategists know that they are vulnerable, so are doing everything they can to get a weaker Home Secretary in place. Suella Braverman, obviously, that's the thing. All this witch hunt that's going around, Suella, her strength is this area. And that was one of the clashes that she had with Liz Truss as Prime Minister. There was a bit of an argument about the fact that Suella said, well, Liz, I understand your plans when it comes to the need for certain areas for economic migration. But if you come to just in a blanket way policy and say, well, we just need to increase economic migration, people are going to kick off, rightly so, considering we have so many people just crossing the border without even showing any ID, let alone any visa or any paperwork. And they all end up, a lot of them being economic migrants or criminals. That's not a good idea. And she did fall out with Liz Truss over that issue, and she didn't really back down. She didn't make a U-turn. And that is, to be said, one of the strengths so far of Suella Braverman. But this is all about waiting to see if this witch hunt will continue. If Suella will be sacked by Rishi Sunak. If she doesn't, then we could say, will she be competent enough to actually get it done? And also at the same time, can she actually sort out the obstacles from the top civil servants in the Home Office to the mainstream media, who are not really keen on doing anything that could offend somebody because it's offensive. Everything is so offensive these days. But we will keep you guys posted. As I said, I'll believe it when I see it. And I have no faith in the cabinet as a whole. And I'm not a Tory, so I don't really care about any of this. But we'll see if they could get something done. Subscribe to the channel. I'm Tousi, and we are the media.